What's up, observers? Welcome in to episode 56 of Third Party Observers.
Woo, woo,
I'm
woo.
Austin, joined by my co-host John and Stan via
That's me.
virtual
What's happening?
today, as we are trying to reduce our risk of getting each other sick. So hopefully our sick day survival kits will come in handy that we drafted
Hopefully we don't need
last
them.
week. Yeah. That's the whole point. Is we're trying to mitigate our risks of getting sick. None of us are actually sick yet. So, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good, but I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
So, Stan, Austin and I went to a dive bar, and this is the first dive bar I've been to.
What's the definition of a dive bar?
It's not a fancy place. I mean, it's
Small,
a little dirty, a little dark.
Local.
grungy.
Grungy.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah. Local. I think local people are. It's like
That's who's
it's
frequenting.
It's not. I mean, well, it contrasts pretty well with where we were at before, which was a brewery,
Yeah.
and so it was
Brewery, great. Open, big space.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, but a little bit higher cost. I say that. I think the beer was about the same price at the brewery as it was at the bar, but
yeah.
It's just very very different environments.
This is the first dive bar I've been to since COVID happened, like since the pandemic. And if we don't get COVID from this, like, fingers crossed, I'm freaking invincible to this disease. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been exposed so many times. I don't understand how I haven't got it either.
it's same.
But I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong.
Well, and it's so weird because in the last couple weeks we've had family that have gotten COVID, but like
We've been exposed multiple times.
Yeah.
but like one, like, so husband and wife, like one will get it and then the other one doesn't the whole time. I mean,
I don't understand. And does that mean they don't get symptoms, or like they test and they actually don't have it?
They test and they test negative. So it doesn't make sense, but it's beyond explaining at this point.
It is what
All
it
I
is.
know is I'm invincible, and fingers crossed.
Invincible.
Hopefully by Wednesday, I'm still invincible. So
Yeah.
What's Wednesday?
I mean, that's when this is going to air, and
True.
4 or 5 days after probable exposure.
He's
You don't
gonna
have to
send
eat
out a
your
tweet.
words.
Yeah, he's gonna send out a tweet. Ah, crap! I got COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I'll know what it's from.
No, it was fun to get out yesterday. One of our friends does stand-up comedy, and so we went and saw him perform.
And he was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was like an open mic night, but it was stand-up comedy. It wasn't like someone got up there and sang a song, and then the next person did a comedy bit. But it was pretty good. So it's definitely interesting watching like the more or like amateur comedian, or like people that are just kind of like testing out, dipping their toes in it, because like a lot of times they're just testing out new material and new jokes and seeing what works and what doesn't, and so it's really interesting. But after that we walked over to another bar, and they had live music, and it's the first time I feel like I've seen live music in 2 years as well.
Wow.
Well, some of it. I don't know if some of it can be classified as music. It was just so loud. Like, I texted you, like, at the very beginning, you didn't even have to, like, they were singing, but you couldn't hear a dang word they were saying. It was just like, it's a metal band, and it was like such a small space, and it was.
It wasn't a metal band. It was like I think our friend said it was like a punk night or whatever. So it was like punk rock.
Oh, I didn't pick up the punk vibe from
but you couldn't, because it's such a small venue, between the instruments. I mean, you couldn't really hear the vocals over the instruments. But man, it was wild watching. I mean, the atmosphere of the bar, the other people in there
bet
were
They mosh pit.
Weirdos.
They were so into the music. It was great.
That's cool.
So, yeah, there were some real weirdos there last night. It was pretty funny.
Real weirdos. Some grade A weirdos.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a good episode for you guys today, even though we're virtual, and so we are talking about celebrities today, specifically which celebrities we'd like to bring back from the dead. We've got a lesson from Lawler coming up later in the show, and got answering some questions and talking about aliens. So we're really trying to cover a lot in this podcast, but before we get into that, make sure you go follow us on our social media pages: Twitter at Party Observers, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Third Party Observers. And now, we've been saying this for the last couple shows, you can now watch our shows on Spotify as well. So if that is of interest to you, make sure you go download Spotify and you can watch us there.
Yeah, it's probably not as exciting on this episode to watch us as it is to listen to us.
Well, you can see straight up John's nose, so that's fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
my giant head takes up all of my computer screen.
Yeah.
Like, I have my computer on my lap, like, because it's a laptop, and it's still, like, I
it's
just have
a
name. Giant ass head. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You do have a large noggin.
The real reason he does it is because he doesn't have any clothes on. So that's really why he just has it.
The best thing
butt naked.
About being a bachelor is living by yourself. You don't have to put clothes on. Like yesterday, I didn't put pants on until, let's see, when did we go to dinner?
Like 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. I think I put pants on at 5:30.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And remember, well, I don't think he said this as we were recording, but before he said, the front part of his apartment is all windows.
Don't go in the living room.
There's curtains. There's curtains up, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a little bit of an older story. But it got reported several weeks ago that NASA hired like 20 to 30 theologians.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah.
To kind of just have a discussion about, is society ready for the knowledge if aliens exist? If NASA finds signs of life elsewhere, how is society going to react to that?
Yeah.
That news?
Wait. So why would they hire theologians to ask if society is ready? Shouldn't they have asked sociologists?
Man, I don't know. I mean, it's probably mostly because, people who have a view of like a higher power, God, religious, something like that, then maybe they, who knows how they'll react to that news. I don't know.
I guess that just means that the aliens are super high power and they're going to come and take over the world.
Yeah. It would just make more sense to hire sociologists because they study society and group dynamics. So it makes more sense that way. But I mean, go ahead with the story. I'm not really familiar with the story.
Well, it came out I think just last week that NASA. So when it came out, NASA came back was like, well, we didn't really hire theologians.
Oh yeah.
You can't
sure.
You can't find evidence on our budget that we hired any theologians.
So under the table, alert the IRS.
But then they're like, but maybe we did bring 20 to 30 theologians together to have this conversation, but we did not pay them.
Well, just because money was not exchanged doesn't mean that they didn't need their advice about something going on.
Yeah.
Focus group.
Well, I guess as you dig deeper into the story, it was something that NASA actually did this. I think what I read was like 2016 is kind of when they started this discussion, this study. So so all these people received money for their contribution to it, but the money went to whatever school that their professors at or whatever. So it was like they donated money to the school so that they could get advice on whether or not Americans are going to freak out
Well, I could tell you the answer to that is yes. Americans, the world would freak out if aliens existed.
Well, why do you think so?
I mean, have you seen every single alien movie?
Well, but that's a movie. That's not for real.
Listen, speaking from personal experience, if aliens are real,
personal experience,
well, listen, guys. No, not just personal. Like, I know how I would react. I'd be
John's butthole has been probed so many times.
He has seen the mothership.
No probes.
No probes here.
Exit only.
Yeah, exit only. I would freak out if I that would.
What's freaky about it?
Well, it's just like, oh, we're not the only living species, or this isn't the only intelligent species. Yeah, it'd just be weird. It'd be.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, I don't personally really think about it all that much. Like, okay, humans, whatever, blah blah blah. But if it was like, oh, there's another intelligent species, we've made contact. Like, what the hell?
Well, it
would change a lot of world views. I feel like, or
maybe, but I don't think it would be that much different from finding like a new species of animals on Earth, unless, I mean, obviously they would be intelligent if we're finding them, or they're coming to us or whatever. So it depends on what their outlook is. Are they trying to come and take over Earth, or are they just friendly? Are they exploring? It's going to depend on what they're trying to do by making contact.
Yeah, I mean, so to John's point, I think it's like if Stan's point, if we found out that Bigfoot was real, would that be any different from if we discovered that there was life on another planet?
I think so. Or no, it wouldn't be that much different, but I also don't really believe in Bigfoot that much. So
do you believe in aliens?
Not really, and so that's why it would be such a
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's so with as big as the universe is, it's so improbable that we would be the only species that has this level of thought.
Odds are, yes,
right. But I mean, they've sent out I know they've sent out signals and stuff and exploratory things when we haven't found anything yet. I mean, obviously, I mean, space is huge, so we could still do it, but so far we haven't,
Well, and I thought I've read something before where we've actually been receiving some signal from somewhere in the universe, but they have no idea where it's coming from. They don't know what it means. They don't know anything. They just know that there's some kind of radio wave or something coming from somewhere in the universe, but they don't have any way of locating it.
We don't know how to interpret it or anything.
Yeah,
interesting.
So how do you guys react to the fact that NASA has had these conversations with theologians about introducing the knowledge of life somewhere else in the universe?
Well, I feel like on one hand, the fact that they're having these conversations, it seems like it could mean that there's aliens. They found them. Yeah. But on the other hand, they could be just generally trying to figure out, okay, if this actually did happen, we ought to be prepared for how to go about breaking the news. But why all of a sudden would they come out and also where did the information come from? Who leaked that they did this?
WikiLeaks?
I don't have the story pulled up right now. Let me research that. You guys keep talking.
Yeah.
Well, and so I think they're like you said, it's more than likely there's some kind of life out there.
Yeah.
But I kind of take this as them kind of admitting that there is. They're like, okay, we found it. Now we got to figure out, can we tell people?
Yeah.
And how do we tell those people?
Confirmed. There are little green men running around somewhere.
I feel like the only reason they're thinking about telling us is because nowadays it's so hard to hide anything, and the internet is just like, oh, anybody can go find some stuff or whatever, and it's like, oh shoot.
Yeah, not even just the internet, but there's so many companies and so many entities out there that have like access to, like SpaceX, like they're sending satellites out into orbit, so they're going to have some idea of like what's going on out there, I feel like. So you can't necessarily hide everything.
The government's not the only one in the space now.
Exactly. In the space.
Yeah, so it was a professor at Cambridge.
He leaked it?
He was one of the 23 theologians. And he just opened up his big mouth. And
wow.
Wait, okay, so is he still alive?
What do you think, they're going to kill him?
I don't know, man. Is he still like teaching, or is they like in a black box somewhere?
Black box.
NASA's out whacking theologians.
Yes, you've been watching too many movies, John.
Yeah, I feel like that. I mean, I feel like they have this discussion because they know they've seen it somewhere that some form of life exists. Now, whether or not life they've discovered on another planet looks like you and I, or the aliens we see in TV, movies, or if it's like a single-celled organism that they found, that I don't have an opinion on. But I think they're just like, you know what, times are crazy.
Oh yeah.
Who's gonna care? Yeah, there's so much other shit to worry about. That,
they're just trying to slide it in underneath COVID and everything else going on.
Yeah, we might as well just leak a video of a alien walking. And what the video, if they have video of it, it's gonna be like from the movie Alien, where all you see is just like the Signs, the movie Signs.
Oh yeah.
Just like the brief kind of fuzzy creature walking by, and you can't really make out what it is. That's what it's going to be. And then it's going to be the same discussion as Bigfoot, like that video from the 50s. Or
didn't not NASCAR, NASA or the Pentagon last May leak footage of
UFOs?
Oh, I'm looking at that right now. I just Googled because I was curious. But I'm watching this video right this second, and there's this blob.
It's from a plane, right? Like where there's the three lights or whatever, and they really
I saw that too. This is from a Navy ship that picked it up on their thermal imaging cameras and radar, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, UFO doesn't necessarily need to be a alien.
Right. It's just an unidentified flying object. Yeah. It could be anything.
Fancy government vehicle that they have that they got caught on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be.
Amy showed me a video yesterday of I think it was Navy SEALs or whatever. They're using jetpacks now.
What?
Like that are pretty easy to use, it seems like. So
well, there is one guy that I've seen that made the jetpack, and it. No. Are they water ones?
It wasn't the water one.
Navy Assault Trials. Wow, this is wild. It's he's got the this is the thrusters on the arms.
Yeah.
That's
basically Iron.
Wild. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty soon they're going to be mounting turrets to it as well, and shit's really going to get real.
He went and landed on a boat.
Yeah.
Whoa. This is crazy.
Dang, okay. I'm watching the video too.
I'm gonna have to put this on the podcast because this is wild.
Yeah, can you link that to the podcast?
Yeah, I will.
See where aliens have gotten us.
Oh my gosh, that is pretty cool. Technology is the things that people are working on. You don't even think about like we said, I think a couple episodes ago. It just kind of blows your mind. They're so far ahead of what you think about.
Right. The government, the technology that they have is so much further ahead than what is in the market. And the reason that they hold on to it is because people aren't ready for it yet.
Yeah.
Just people aren't ready to know that aliens exist. So
would you want to break that aliens exist? Like, if there was like an actor or like,
I wanted to be the guy from that History Channel show about the aliens with like the hair that's all like fuzzy up.
I want Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is dead.
Not that guy. Bob Ross is dead.
Sad day.
Well, let's see if we resurrect
we can bring him back from the dead in just a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from our alien discussion. I imagine we'll maybe we'll have some breaking news in the next couple weeks of aliens out there, but we'll move on to some more questions. It's not as riveting as the alien conversation, but what's your favorite app on your phone?
What a transition.
It's a real weird segue.
That's hilarious.
The
you
one
go ahead,
I
John.
spend the most time on is probably Instagram.
Watching videos.
Yeah. Watching those stupid little reels. It gets me in.
Suck you in. Basically TikToking.
I've been contemplating just getting rid of Instagram because of that's all. I mean, my friends don't post pictures anymore. The only thing I see are like I follow a few hashtags, and so I see like those posts. But then the only other thing I see are these dumb reels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I probably send you and Amy one at least once a day.
Yeah, once a night. I always receive them at like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Granted, it's when John's at work, so
that's hilarious.
But yeah. Stan, do you have a favorite app?
Calculator.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
The compass.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think of which one I use the most. You go ahead, Austin. I'm not 100% sure. Let me think.
I mean, I think for me, I probably use Spotify the most.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That was a good one.
So I'd say that's probably my favorite. I mean, it holds all my podcasts and all of my music. So I think I'm going to go with that easy one.
Zillow's also a pretty good one.
Zillow?
Yeah.
You browsing the market, the real estate market?
Do you do it just to look around, or?
Yeah, I'm always curious about stuff.
Yeah.
Just look around and be sad?
Well, not necessarily. Like, you're contemplating moving to Tulsa, so like,
buy a house. I'll live with you.
Let's look at rent houses or buy houses. Or
I forget.
What does houses in whatever city cost?
Montreal.
Yeah.
It is fun, like especially if you're on vacation, like in a spot, you're like, I wonder what it'd be for me to buy a house here and live here if I really enjoyed it. And then, and sometimes you're in Boston when you do that, and you say, well, I guess I'll never live in Boston.
Right. 500 square foot house or apartment
for $500,000.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I think I'll pass.
All right, I think I know what my favorite app is.
Okay.
I'm sure nobody has heard of it, but it's what I use to control all my smart home stuff. It's called Wyze, WYZE. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Oh, is that how you say that? I always called it Whiz.
Whizzy. Just taking a whiz,
Yeah.
No, but it's cool because you can set up, like I've got a bunch of light bulbs and what else do I have? My thermostat. I've got a couple different things. Security cameras. So whenever there's some creepy guy hanging out in my front yard, I'll get a notification. My neighbor, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before. My neighbor is kind of weird. He doesn't have a job. I see him walk back and forth, I think almost every day, in front of my house with his shopping cart. And he goes out and collects cans, I guess to recycle and turn in for money. I don't know. But me and Lindsay, my girlfriend were going out to what's it called? Homecoming, at OSU beforehand.
Walk around.
The walk around to look at all the pumping and stuff. And we saw him. She was just joking, and she's like, "Hey, is that your neighbor?" Because she had never seen him before in person, just on my camera. And it was him out in public, walking around with his shopping cart, picking up cans. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy!"
How old is this guy?
He's got to be. He looks 50s. His hair is starting to get a little white. He's kind of overweight.
Someone that probably should have a job and not retired yet.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's like got some kind of disability, because I think I saw something on his yard about like a sign saying it was like paid for.
Slow children at play.
Yeah, something like that. Don't run over the guy with a shopping cart. But also, one time I was coming home, and he was double fisting his shopping carts. He had one in each hand, walking down the middle of 9th Street. And I was coming up behind him, and I was like, "What is this guy doing?" And he turned around and saw me, and so like went over to the side of the road. But he was like, arms out wide, pulling both shopping carts. I was at a loss for words, just like now.
You know, you have a problem when you're double fisting anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll do one more question because we're running a little short on time. So, if the waiter brings your table's food while one of your party is in the bathroom, how long are you supposed to wait before you start eating?
If it's with you guys, no wait.
Ooh, rude.
Yeah, asshole.
Yeah.
Because I know you would do the same thing with me.
No, we wait on you all the time.
Nah. All the time. What are you talking about?
I do.
I won't wait a second.
I know Austin won't.
Yeah.
No, I will.
Like,
I will wait till you.
Let's eat.
Unless you're like pooping and taking a really long time, I'll wait for you. Like it's only a minute or so.
I wouldn't put it past Austin to order an appetizer for the table. The appetizer comes, I'm in the bathroom, and I get back and there's no appetizer left because he scarfed it all down.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that either.
Yeah.
You poop, you lose, you know?
That is a problem with when producer Amy eats out with us, is that she always has to like scoop it at the very beginning, scoop some onto her plate.
It's like a little sword fight with our forks. No, it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we did this last night at dinner because Amy and I's food came out way before everybody else's.
Yeah. But everyone's at the table then, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. As soon as I got my food, I looked at everybody and said, well, I'm not waiting. And I just dug in. So,
did Amy wait?
No. No. She's...
It was kind of one of those things. It was different though. That's different because it's like one of the restaurants where you order up at the counter and then they bring it out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, based on your ticket.
Yeah, based on your ticket. So like it's not like where you order at the tape, the waiter comes to and gets you.
Yeah.
That's different.
Was it
then it's like?
Was it that Chinese place, that pho place?
No, it was some nacho place that was not very good. It was on.
It's a new restaurant in Tulsa that the whole thing is nachos, and so
sounds like you would love it, Austin.
I didn't, but they opened a week ago, and the chef came out and was talking to us and talked about how it was his vision to open this restaurant like 27 years ago.
Dang.
He wanted it to be a real chill like coffee shop vibe.
Yeah.
What the heck?
It's so wild.
That's why he painted it like black and like navy blue.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
he had like string lights going across and like John Mayer.
That's
playing.
hilarious. Yeah. Austin, did you share your opinions about nachos with him?
No, but I
had other things.
I didn't order. I ordered a breakfast burrito.
Oh, okay. So it's not just nachos.
Yeah, and you can also like replace the chips with waffle fries if you want to. So you also could have gotten cheese fries.
Yummy.
Which looked like that would have been the better option than the chips because the chips were a little stale.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to rate it, it probably would have been a 4 out of 10.
Ooh, yeah. John also ordered dessert nachos. Well, he
nachos.
He ordered fried ice cream, and they brought out dessert nachos, which was another option. So it's like this.
It was a mess.
Cinnamon chips, and then like with drizzled chocolate syrup and sprinkles on it, and whipped cream, and one scoop of ice cream that was as hard as a baseball.
Yeah, for like a plate full of nachos.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I didn't order this. Like they just gave me the wrong thing, and I was like, whatever. But it was a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Sounds like
well, Well, John, are you ready to teach the people about something?
Yeah.
I suppose so. Let's do this thing.
Okay, so your options today are the JFK assassination,
cool,
the Pythagorean theorem,
yes,
cool,
the 2021 Colts season, the circus, and the Berlin Wall. So those are your 5 options. Anyone you want to talk about in particular?
I don't remember what the Pythagorean theorem is.
Do that one. Pythagorean theorem.
You got the Berlin Wall.
Okay.
So I'm interested.
The Berlin Wall was this wall that separated East Germany and West Germany. So one side of Germany was really rich and the other side was kind of poor. And because one side I think was communist and the other side wasn't. And so a lot of the poor people wanted from the west side of Germany wanted to get to the east side of Germany. And they were but it was a crime. And so they put up this wall because West Germany wanted to keep all their people in, or else they wouldn't have any people left. And they would no longer be a country. So they put up this wall, shot anybody that tried to cross. So it's kind of like North Korea is now.
South Korea, yeah.
Yeah, North Korea, South Korea. So then, in 1983, no, it's 79, I think. 79, Gorbachev said, "Tear down that wall." And that is when Germany became whole and everyone loved everybody. And that is the Berlin Wall.
I mean,
You should be a history teacher, John.
Yeah, I should.
You were pretty close on the dates. I'm not sure when that occurred, what you said, but
I mean, it's got to be pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it was 80s is whenever it was real big, or early 80s, late 70s.
Yeah.
Wikipedia, there's too much information for me to really figure out if what you said is true. So I'm gonna go for it.
I'm a professor. Of course, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, I just have to believe you.
Trust in the higher education system.
Yeah. Well, I hope the people are glad that they heard that and not how bad the Colts were this season, because
that would have made me mad.
That's what I was hoping you were gonna talk about. Because what a disaster of a team.
Dumps. Well, listen, they're commonly referred to as adults. It's just a bad situation.
Adults, DOLT.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I've never heard that. Is it just what?
Adult is a word for an idiot or just stupid.
Well, yeah, I've just never heard the Colts referred to as that.
Oh,
but it
something
makes sense.
I refer them to whenever they miss the playoffs and lose to the 2-14 Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess 3-14 now. You have one job and you missed the playoffs. You could barely score 11. You're lucky to score 11 points. You scored 8 points in the final minute because you got a garbage touchdown in what garbage season. Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't even want to.
Your quarterback posts one of the lowest QBRs in the league.
In the league, yeah, it was the worst. I don't want to put it all on Carson Wentz because the whole team played bad, but golly, you got to put a lot of it there. You gave up a first-round pick and a third-round pick for that guy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm glad that you covered it anyway.
It's miserable right now.
Well, that's going to bring us to the last part of our show, where we're drafting the celebrities to resurrect from the dead. So the people, the famous people we want to bring back into our current society. Now, okay, if we bring them back, do they come back as right before prime?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
You can't draft if you drafted George Washington. Oh, he's just a bag of bones.
Well, I was thinking more if someone died from a example. Hopefully, no one's trying to draft this person. You draft Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
When you draft Steve Jobs, does he still have cancer, or
That was prime.
No, it'd probably be in the prime of his health. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Prime person.
All right. Well, that's a good thing for us to know because it could be real shitty if we bring someone back and they're like, all right, I guess I'll live out another few weeks.
Yeah. And, no, I still have stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. All right.
As in the Steve Jobs reference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, Stan, you've got the number 1 pick, so why don't you take us away?
Yeah. So I don't really know what direction I want to go with my number 1 because I have no idea where you guys are going to be going. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this as my 101. Kobe Bryant. That was just tragic because
interesting 101, but he's on my list.
Yeah. So he obviously was still a great basketball player. He was just. I remember when I heard that it happened. I was on a work road trip, and I got into the hotel that evening, and it was playing on the TV while I was checking in, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I don't know. It was one of those things you wouldn't have expected that at all. Nobody did.
Yeah,
it was a freak accident, and it was just one of those tragic things that because it was a freak accident, like he didn't die of old age or any disease. It was just so sudden that I think there are tons of people that want to have him back.
Yeah, I thought about that. He was one of the first people I thought of, and then I was trying to decide, like, okay, if I bring him back, like, what else is he gonna do? Like, he already had like his basketball career.
He was doing a lot more. I kind of liked him more after he retired because he was putting out like documentaries and stuff, and like I feel like he was doing.
Was he?
Yeah, he was doing a lot more things about like. I mean, he was trying to bring a lot of attention. I know he was pretty big into like women's basketball. He was trying to bring attention to that, which I don't really care too much about. But I feel like he was just like he was writing books and stuff. And it's just like I thought he was more interesting after he retired from basketball.
Yeah, and wasn't he his daughter's coach for her basketball team?
I don't know about that.
That sounds right, but I'm not.
I think his daughter was in the helicopter too when they went down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Also, isn't it wild that they were going to basketball practice in a helicopter? They're just like, all right, time to go to practice.
Yeah,
let's
no
hop
joke.
in that chopper.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when you're rich, you're rich.
Yeah.
When you got a helicopter, use it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not. You know. I bet he wouldn't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kobe Bryant's a good pick. My 101 is going to be, especially if we're getting them in their prime, I'm going to go with Robin Williams.
Yeah, he was one of my top picks.
A guy who I think is one of the funniest comedians to have ever, lived. So I had a few other comedians on my list, but I think he's the clear 101 in that tier. So
he's pretty good. He was on my list.
Yeah, so not much else you can say about Robin Williams besides the fact that he was great.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I'm surprised that this wasn't the first overall pick. She just died. Betty White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was so funny.
Like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, just like all of her shows, like, what was that show that Golden
Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. That show. I mean, sometimes that show is on, I just catch clips of it, and it's
TV Land.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, and then obviously she was in The Proposal, which is hilarious.
Yeah. I thought about Betty White, but I thought, the other people on my list, I mean, not to give too much away, but for the most part, they died younger and they had more life ahead of them. They weren't 99. Yeah. So if I was going to bring Betty White back, it was going to be so that she could make it 2 more weeks to be 100, and then she can die again. I guess I don't know. I mean,
keep making movies, entertain me.
Yeah, Dance Monkey.
Yeah. Next pick. I'm kind of surprised, Austin, you didn't go here, but I'm gonna go with Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been my next pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was so good, and he died. I mean, obviously young because of AIDS, right?
Yeah, that's why I brought up. If we bring him back, are they still gonna have whatever killed him?
Whatever ailment took him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Freddie Mercury was definitely going to be my next pick. But John, if I had went Freddie Mercury one, would you have went Robin Williams in one of your first two?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
absolutely. I feel like those were the top three on my choices: Freddie Mercury, Robin Williams, and Betty White. So I got 2 out of 3. That's all
yeah. Okay, well, it's back to me. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with an actor that died while recording one of his most iconic roles as the Joker. I'm gonna go with Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
I thought
I had
he
him
was
too.
A pretty good actor, and it just sucks that he took his role a little too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. He was an incredible actor, though. Did you guys ever see A Knight's Tale?
A Knight's Tale?
Oh, yeah, such a good movie.
That's really good.
Yeah. Now, honestly, I can only name 3 movies that he's in.
Yeah.
He's in
Knight's Tale?
Knight's Tale and Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't he also in... Oh, he is in The Patriot. I forget that.
I forgot that he was in Brokeback Mountain.
And then isn't he also in it's a romantic comedy, like 10 Things I Hate About You. I just heard it from producer Amy in the other room.
Classic 90s, I think. Or 2000s.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be...
rom-com.
It's supposed to be like a kind of a...
It's a play on Shakespeare, right?
Yes. I don't remember which one, but...
producer Amy probably knows.
Yeah, she would, that nerd.
Yeah, what a nerd.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go with Heath Ledger. Stan, it's your pick.
And a lot of my top ones are down.
Yeah, they're all
Where
down.
are we gonna go here? Well, wow. Too soon.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, I would like to have a musical artist in here, at least one. I think I'm gonna go with Elvis Presley.
Okay.
The King.
Is that a question? You seemed a little unsure.
Question mark? No.
You need
I want Elvis.
Affirm that. Okay.
Locked in. Final answer.
All right. Now, there's a conspiracy that Elvis is still alive.
Well, then
I guess maybe not still alive, because I think that would put him over 100. But
when was he? When did he die?
I think
Allegedly.
it was in the 70s.
Something like that.
We'll look it up. Stan, go ahead with your next pick.
I think I'll take Chadwick Bozeman from Black Panther.
Oh yeah, he was
another.
Well,
and what was crazy about him that he didn't tell anyone that he had colon cancer. Like he just continued doing all his roles for as much as he could health wise, and played Black Panther at the end. Was that his last role? I think that before he died.
No, it was. It was a Netflix movie.
Oh, was it?
I haven't seen it. It was supposed to be really good though.
Mm-hmm.
It was about like jazz.
I think.
You're in the South. I don't remember.
Yeah. But he was a good actor. Tragic story. Let's bring him back. Put him back in the game.
Mr. Ramy's Black Balloon Bottom.
What? Is it balloon or is it bottom?
It's bottom. Mr. Rainey's Black Bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is it Mr. Rainey or Ma Rainey?
It is Ma Rainey.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't read.
Okay, well, we can confirm that Elvis died in 1977. Well, we can't confirm because it's
allegedly died.
Allegedly died in 1977 on the toilet, right? That's the myth.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
I guess he was in his 40s when he died.
Oh, he's only 40s?
That's why it's called the porcelain throne.
42. Huh.
Interesting. Bring him back.
All right. Well, that's going to bring it to me. It's going to make it difficult.
You had Elvis too?
No, I didn't. But I did have Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take another musical artist, and I'm going to take someone who I think he died. I think he was 24 when he died.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Notorious B.I.G. Notorious Big, Biggie Smalls.
Interesting. Interesting.
I probably could have gotten him with my last pick, but I don't know who else I'm going to pick. So, yeah, I'm going to go with him.
Well, I guarantee that my last pick will not interfere with yours.
Yeah. Is it someone no one's ever heard of?
Probably. Well, lots of people have heard of him.
Okay.
Nope, gave it away. He's a dude. That's all you get.
Okay, my pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to bring back. I'm going to go with Mr. Rogers, just because it seems like
He's
world
just a nice guy.
Mr. Rogers right now. We're pretty terrible.
I would like to hear Mr. Rogers' commentary on COVID and
that would
things going on today.
See if he gets bought out by Big Pharma.
Becomes a salesman for Moderna.
Yeah.
Go get your Moderna shot today.
Hey, don't be a Pfizer bitch. You know that. And with my last pick, I'm going to go with Anthony Bourdain. I thought he was super interesting.
He is a really interesting guy, yeah.
Unfortunate that he is dead. I actually ate at one of his restaurants.
Oh, really?
His restaurant, but a restaurant that he put on his show in Lisbon.
That's cool.
Was it good?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like anything special. It's kind of like one of those restaurants that the guide described it as. You eat it like a lot of it's a really popular sandwich like when you're drunk. So after you've been at the bar for like 2 or 3 hours,
and you were sober,
at 2 or 3 a.m. No, I mean it was good and stuff. It was fine. Like, but it was just it was pretty basic. But it was
to get the full experience. You just need to get wasted.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny because like
could have had half a shot before.
Yeah, whenever he did the show, they were like, "Yeah, you can do it here, whatever. We don't care." But because they didn't know who he was, but then they were like, "But we're not changing anything for you. Like we're just come in here and sit in the corner, do your thing."
That's hilarious.
And then so he did it or whatever, and he ate like a sandwich and had a beer or whatever. And then like off camera, I guess he had like 2 more sandwiches and a whole bunch more beer.
Dang, that's funny.
And then like a year later or whatever, the restaurant, because it's just a pretty local thing or whatever, and then they start getting a lot more business from like tourists and stuff, and they're like, and so finally they asked, they're like, why are you guys like coming here? Like, what's so special? Because it's just a common sandwich that like a ton of people, like a ton of restaurants there serve.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we saw this on Anthony Bourdain's show, and they're like, who? And so they're like, they showed them the clip, and they're like, oh, that guy.
That
that's
guy
hilarious.
That like shit.
Yeah.
But apparently, like he was fine. Like he was like cool.
Yeah.
Like it makes it more authentic. More into the.
Because they're not catering to him because he's famous.
Yeah. So he enjoyed that part. So it was a pretty interesting story.
Okay, well, for my last pick, I think I'm gonna go with another comedian. I did not plan on that, but you guys took some of my picks, so I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah, stolen.
And I think I'm gonna go with another comedian a comedian that died, I think this year. I'm gonna go with Norm Macdonald. He was another guy that died pretty young, and also without telling anybody that he was not feeling super hot and had cancer. So I'm going to go with Norm Macdonald. I've got a few others I can talk about after this. But
same. There's actually a lot on my list that did not get picked.
All right, Stan.
All right, for my last pick that I knew neither of you would ever pick, Steve Irwin. Man, I love that guy.
According to producer Amy, he's not even dead.
No, he's definitely dead.
Well, I don't think their conspiracy is that he's not dead. I think the conspiracy is that it wasn't a stingray that killed him.
Oh, what killed him?
They think a crocodile killed him, and because they do so, like, that's their whole thing is like
they didn't want him to die by crocodile.
Yeah, so they blamed it on the stingrays, and that's.
Well, didn't they had footage of the
Yeah, it's a real dumb conspiracy.
It makes me so mad whenever they bring it up because it's so out there.
Yeah. Well, I used to watch his show when I was like a little kid all the time. And
yeah, it is a good show.
When I heard that he died, I was actually affected. It's like, man, this was a big part of my childhood, and he died. Man, it was sad day. Steve Irwin, he's great.
I never really, I mean, like I knew who he was because everybody knew who he was, but I don't think I ever really watched any of his shows or.
Yeah.
I think he was on Saturday morning, like a Saturday morning show.
That's probably why I didn't watch. Was it on PBS?
I don't remember. It wasn't on cable though, because that's how I watched. That's why I got to watch it, because it's not on cable. Because we did not have cable.
No cable.
So one guy the other comedian I was thinking about drafting was Chris Farley.
Yeah, he was on my list. I was surprised no one drafted him.
But I think I prefer Norm Macdonald over Chris Farley.
Yeah.
And then I had Albert Einstein on my list.
Oh yeah,
as well. But I didn't know if he really was considered a celebrity or not. I mean, everyone.
I mean, he's famous. Yeah,
knows him.
I would consider him a celebrity.
Yeah.
I thought him coming in. I mean, he's theory of relativity and all of that. So like him coming in with all that we know about it today, he'd just be like, "Oh, you dummies! This is exactly how you do it."
I thought Stephen Hawking was the theory of relativity.
Well, Einstein kind of set the foundation of it, and then I think Stephen Hawking maybe more popularized it or something. But
interesting. Okay, I had who did I have? Oh, DMX.
Oh yeah,
on my list. Like the guy that sings "Hey Ya" and "Party Up."
I thought "Hey Ya" was Outkast.
Oh, that is Outkast. I can't remember. It was "Party Up" and something else. But I've been listening to more of his stuff recently, and I'm terrible at naming songs.
He's got good music.
He's got good music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know he was dead.
Well, I also put Abe Lincoln. I didn't know if he was a celebrity though.
Re-abolish slavery. Oh wait, we don't have slavery.
In the same way that Einstein is.
Yeah.
He could. I feel like Abe Lincoln would be good for America.
Yeah. I put so I wasn't gonna draft him, but I had him on my list just because it's recent. But Bob Saget just died this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also did not have him on my list, mostly because he was in Full House, and that's all I know about him.
That's really all I know about him too.
I was exposed to him with that, and then America's Funniest Home Videos. That's where I remember him mostly from.
Okay.
He did that for a long time before.
Yeah.
I think the guy from Fresh Prince is doing
Alfonso something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have Michael Jackson on your list?
I did.
But
that would be a little
controversial.
Yeah, that would be a more controversial pick, so I didn't.
So I decided not to do it. Although he would be like probably my top musician to bring back. He's always also the most controversial person to bring back.
Well, I mean, one reason I didn't is because when he died, he wasn't really making music anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's about to go on another tour. But I guess it would have been all of his old stuff, probably.
Yeah.
So I guess it goes back, like, if he comes back in his prime, does that mean he's like back in his like prime music making days, or?
Yeah.
But 80s, 90s, I feel like was his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I had Amy Winehouse on my list as well, but she was a little bit further down there.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was Amy or if it was Heather, but whenever an Amy Winehouse song, because I'm not good at recognizing artists or whatever, and so I would never know who it was, and then they made me listen to like a bunch of Amy Winehouse until I could recognize.
That's what you get, John.
Yeah, I feel like anytime we got in the car, we would cue an Amy Winehouse song and just see if you discovered it.
So it was you and Amy. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah, because you would kind of sing along, but you had no idea who it was or anything, which is fine.
It's on brand for me.
Right. Well, I think we ended up with pretty good picks. It'll be interesting to see what maybe captures the votes of the people.
Yeah. Speaking of votes, you can vote on Spotify now.
Oh, can you?
We cannot. Nice. I put it on the last one. You can't put what the picks were for each person, but you can. Mm-hmm. I put in.
But you'll be listening to the podcast.
Yeah, who you want to vote for to take home the draft. So at the end, after you've listened to it, you can scroll down and it's underneath the podcast. Just click on which one of us you want to win, and then we'll look at those votes after the fact.
Look at Spotify just coming through. You can do anything on Spotify
all sorts
now.
Of stuff.
Yeah, if you're not listening on Spotify, you need to change that. You need to get with it.
Get with the times.
Watch on Spotify, vote on Spotify, list on Spotify.
You can pay us on Spotify.
No, I don't think you can do that.
I was like, hey, okay.
I'll give you my PayPal, though. You can send it straight to me.
Yeah, you can just Venmo me at.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on social media, and if you want to share this podcast, that would be fantastic. So we will catch you next week. Hope you guys have a great week.
Absolutely.
See ya.
Bye.